So our main findings from the survey and from our subsequent analysis was that around 70% of the survey respondents had experienced a type of gender-based violence in the past 12 months, and around 50% of them had actually experienced a severe form of gender-based violence, which might include types of gender-based violence such as attempted sexual assault itself, physical assault or rape. And if you look at the impact that this has on the number of incidents over a year, it averages out to about 8 incidents per person over 12 months. So if you look at what this means in terms of how it affects people's ability to work in the workplace, in terms of their productivity or whether they might be absent from work or seeking other services, we found that on average around 11 days were taken off per individual on average over the course of the year. And if you extrapolate that, what it means at the level of a whole firm, taking our survey statistics and looking across the big picture, for one of the firms that was an equivalent of 26,200 days off of work, which is a very significant figure. And then for the next part of the story, you then take that figure and you look at what that means in terms of the cost to the overall functioning of the business. And for one of the firms, we found that the total expenditure on the payroll was almost 3 million kina over the course of the year, an equivalent of about 9% of the total payroll bill.
Papua New Guinea is known for being somewhere which has very high incidence of sexual and physical violence. But nonetheless, the findings from this study were still quite shocking, particularly because the incidence across all levels of staff, from junior staff and from less educated staff all the way through to middle and senior management, was high and was quite severe even amongst senior management. Another thing that was interesting was that the amount of reporting across male and female was quite similar, although when looking in detail, men were taking quite a lot of time off work as compared to women, but the number of incidents of violence amongst women were much higher than men. Men were seeming to take time off in order to support other people with gender-based violence incidents. So in terms of the firm and the cost to business, the impact of gender violence on men is significant, not just women. The third thing, which will be particularly surprising for future research, is that we weren't able to capture all of the cost to business through this approach, partly because of the inability of firms at the moment to disaggregate some of the data that we wanted to collect, which is something that they might think about for future and which would have a significant impact, increasing even more the cost to business.